Every video here on 616 Entertainment is made possible by my supporters over on Patreon. If you enjoyed the show here today, consider signing up. You'll get early access, exclusive videos and podcasts, and more. Pro Wrestling Tees has the merch. As always, thank you for watching. AEW Fight Forever, the first video game from All Elite Wrestling, is now 1 year old. We looked forward to this one for a long time, right? We pondered what it might be. Would it be arcade style? More of a 2K simulation? Possibly a mixture of both. Who would develop it? Wouldn't it be great if they got somebody like Ukes or a few veterans from the Aki days? Our imaginations ran wild. We know now in July of 2024 that some of these hopes and dreams and wishes came true. Developing the game would be Ukes, the team behind some of the greatest wrestling titles ever created. This is the logo that plays before SmackDown Here Comes the Pain, you know? Data-san, Mr. WWF No Mercy himself, would act as a consultant on Fight Forever. The pieces were in place. Gameplay-wise, Fight Forever wound up playing a lot closer to the old days than it does anything releasing today. You can feel some No Mercy in there, you can feel some old school SmackDown in there, and that's great. It is my opinion that when you first get your hands on Fight Forever, it feels like exactly what we'd been waiting for. All of the buttons do exactly what you'd imagine they'd do from back in the old days. That's a good thing. Seeing guys like Kenny Omega and Sting and CM Punk and Darby Allin, a little bit of Britt Baker and Anna Jay, hell yeah. It feels great. At first. I don't think anyone with a brain in their head was expecting this first AEW game to be as deep of one of WWE's modern titles when it came to match types or game modes, as this is their first building block after all, but even now, 1 year later, there are issues that need to be addressed. Hell, some of these should have been addressed inside the first month of release. I reviewed AEW Fight Forever on launch day. That was June 28th, 2023, and for the most part, I was pretty positive. It's an easy thing to celebrate, right? As a wrestling fan and a gamer, keep giving me more of both. How about it? I did have my complaints and criticisms, obviously. I mean, it's a review. But even then, there were a handful of jabronis who were under the assumption that I was paid by AEW to give a positive review, or I don't know. I don't know what these idiots think is going on. Let me tell you, if I was getting paid by any of these companies whose video games or films that I cover, I would not be shooting this in my bedroom against a piece of green fabric that No Taxes Nigel Bravo left here that I call a green screen. You know, my air conditioner's fucked up. It's too humid in here. So AEW, WWE, Paramount Pictures, Universal, Activision, somebody send some money over. I'll take it. Let's make these guys right. But to be serious, I was high on the game at the time because, I think AEW Fight Forever is a good game. I still think so. I don't think it's fantastic. I don't do review scores, but if I did, we're not talking about a 9 here, so don't get it twisted. The fact of the matter is we've seen a lot worse than All Elite Wrestling's first offering, and I hate to tell you, we're going to continue to see worse games released in the future. You probably know exactly what I'm talking about. With today's video, I want to address what I feel Fight Forever can do not only to improve upon what is already there, but I'm bringing out the hammer, too. I need to get some things off my chest that I cannot believe have not been implemented yet. Are you ready? Are you ready to take this little ride with me? Good. I'd like to address a video that I made before Fight Forever even hit store shelves. I released AEW's first video game, 10 must-have features, in September of 2021. Jesus, where does the time go? We'll go rapid fire here, but let's take a look at what I wanted and expected, and we'll see whether they deliver at launch. We'll expound on some of these after we run through the list. Number 1, tables. Got 'em. Number 2, create a ring / create an arena. It's very limited, but it is there. Another point. 3, licensed music. Check. 4, button mashing for kickouts. Yes, we got it. And I think most of you hate me for it. Sorry. More on this later. 5, steel cage match. Nope. 6, ladder match. Yep. 7, less restrictive gameplay. Let everyone do everything without needing a specific perk. Got it. 8, win-loss records. Yes, even though the stats have been very broken for me, which is wonderful. 9, alternate attires. They're here, so I guess that's technically a point, but it's not exactly how I wanted it. I guess I should have been more specific. And finally, number 10, title matches in exhibition. Yes, we got them. So overall, that's a 9-1 tally on these simple requests, which sounds excellent, but there's certainly room for improvement. I wanted Create an Arena, and it was indeed included in the game, but let's sidestep the creation for a second and talk about the arenas in general. In the year that has passed since Fight Forever launched, several new arenas have been added to the game. Want to wrestle on the beach? No? Oh, well, you can if you want. Are you into the haunted house arena? Wait, no one asked for this either? Well, what about this outdoor Japanese setting? No? Where the fuck is the Collision Arena? Where is Collision? This show premiered on television a year ago. I know because I was there, and it is unbelievable to me that they have the gall to release a fucking haunted house arena before representing their B show anywhere in the game. To my knowledge, the Collision logo doesn't appear anywhere in Fight Forever. That is insane. Let's get off the arenas. I mentioned earlier that I specifically asked for a button mashing mechanic for kickouts rather than a timed meter, and I got it. This was a major monkey's paw sort of situation. I'm still happy with the concept of mashing. That's not the issue.
Back off, because you're just mashing it now.
You know, if you've played Fight Forever, that your health never regenerating is the deal breaker. If you've taken a bit of a beating, one lone punch knocking you down is all it will take to pin you. This is AEW, man. If we're looking for realism, no one should be getting 3 counts until at least 4 or 5 finishers have been hit in succession with no selling in between any of the impact, just moving into place for the next step of the combo. Sorry, this isn't 616 wrestling. I can't get too cynical. I've always felt the roster was strong, and it has gotten even better since launch. If you've paid for it, which I haven't. Nor will I. I understand this is a business. I understand that they went way over budget in developing this game, and that the relationship between AEW and Yuke's is not great, but that's not my problem, nor is it my concern. It was stated many times before release that Fight Forever would be a foundation that would be built upon, and I really liked the sound of that. I guess it's my fault that I didn't automatically realize that these updates would cost so much money. Pay $10 for Edge and a haunted house? No, I don't think I will. And don't get in the comments and tell me that I should have seen this coming and that this is 100% on me. UFC 5 releases packs of new fighters all the time for free. So miss me with that bullshit. Where the fuck is the Collision Arena? I said in my review last year that releasing a pro wrestling game in 2023 without a steel cage match was unacceptable, and I could not be happier to announce that, no, I'm just kidding. I'm disappointed to announce that no, they never added a cage match of any kind. If you're interested in a Battle Royale style Fortnite-ass secondary game mode called Stadium Stampede, they sure got you though. Wait, you're not interested? Huh. Well, neither is anybody else. Thus far, a year after release, my biggest takeaway is what seems to be a massive disconnect between AEW, Yuke's, THQ, and their paying audience. Nobody asked for this is not a phrase that I should be repeating in the same video, let alone about the same video game. Look, I've been really negative today, which I don't normally do on this channel, but there's a good reason for this shadowed outlook. I really really enjoy this game. The only reason I'm complaining, the only reason I'm bitching and moaning, is because the ways to make it better are right there. They're right there. This isn't rocket science, and Ukes are not a bunch of dummies. They're a legendary development team with some of the greatest wrestling titles ever made under their belt. I love the Fight Forever gameplay with a little bit of SmackDown, a little bit of No Mercy. I've never complained about the shortened entrances because I think they're fun. And if they were full length, I would be skipping them. The interactive pyro is a nice touch. The goofy ass weapons still pop me on a consistent basis. But AEW's video game isn't their only sore spot right now. Their television viewership is tanking as well. My interest in the product, at the moment, doesn't even exist. But that doesn't mean that I want them to go away. I was there day one, man. I loved AEW. Not everything can be consistently excellent. And as I drop my cynicism and cartoonish writing style for a second, I would like to say that I do genuinely hope that they can get that fire burning as high as it was in 2021 again, man. I'd also like to take a second to put over Toni Storm and Mariah May and Mina Shirakawa and Deonna Purrazzo and Julia Hart and Chris Statlander and everyone else who have been the shining light of All Elite Wrestling in 2024. At least for me, the women are fucking killing it. It would be cool to get a modern Toni Storm or any Mariah May or Deonna Purrazzo or Julia Hart or Mercedes or any of these women in the game, but hey, we'll see, right? AEW Fight Forever is free right now if you are a PlayStation Plus subscriber. Look, for that price, you should absolutely download it and check it out. My handful of complaints today are certainly annoying. I find several of them to be total head scratchers, and I think it is still unacceptable to have a pro wrestling game in 2024 without a steel cage match. But at the end of the day, all comedy and cynicism aside, Fight Forever is a good game, and I think if you give it a chance, you will have fun with it. This is not Destiny. This is not Diablo. AEW Fight Forever is not the type of game that you turn on and before you know it, you've sunk in 650 hours into the thing. You know, maybe I'm the odd man out. Maybe I just don't know how people really engage with wrestling games anymore, but back when I was a kid, I played the brakes off SmackDown 2 just over and over and over. Nowadays, I don't really play wrestling games like that. But if you're out there and that is still what you're looking for, Fight Forever is not for you. If you want to pick it up, have some fun, and then put it back on the shelf, get back to it later, I think it's the perfect experience. But that's going to be for you to decide. That's all for today, Dan Dans. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. If you want to sign up over on patreon.com/616entertainment, we are very close to unlocking the next big retrospective, which at this moment is the history of Resident Evil Part 7, Bleeding Out. Where the fuck is the collision arena?